Hey you guys. I'm just back to be like I told you guys from Imperial County. I was gonna do an interview. Well, the interview is here now. I am with Cecilia Garcia from Chicago, Illinois, and we were talking about the roots. The culture, the network we have in the Hispanic raza. So introduce yourself, Ceci, and I want everybody to know who you are. We got 2 followers looking. Thank you. Share,
Okay.
you guys. This is going live. Those on Facebook, those on YouTube. Share, share, share. That's all I gotta say. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I'm Cecilia Garcia. I'm the founder of Family Reunification. I became an advocate, a human rights defender 8 years ago under my circumstances where we thought what was a regular day. My husband was coming home from work. He gets pulled over and the cop asked for his driver's license. My husband is undocumented, so he did not have one. So then the officer asked him if he was legally here. My husband answered honestly and said no. So within 12 hours, that officer decided to use his personal discretion, and in 12 hours, he was processed for deportation. I never knew. I thought because I was an American citizen and I was under the impression that I had that privilege, that I was in the process of changing his status. So I thought he was automatically protected. So when I went to the police station, I was like, no, there must be a mistake because I'm fixing his papers. And then I found out that it was just starting the process. It doesn't mean that he was automatically protected. So it opened my eyes to see just how flawed our immigration system is. And that's why I became an advocate. And currently, we are trying to change legislation. So we already know what the problem is. We came up with a solution. It's called the right to family. It was written for us, by us. This resolution was passed in Chicago, in the local also county, and the state of Illinois, and in other parts of the state like Minnesota, also in Wisconsin and Texas. And what we're trying to do is we're advocating so this bill becomes a legislation. We went to lobby in February, and when we went to see the Democrats, the DNC party, they're telling us, you're preaching to the choir. What you need to do is talk to those who object and don't want to see a change in immigration. So now we're trying to get other people involved and mobilized so they can tell their stories. This legislation, if in fact it does get approved, and we believe it does because the majority right now is in the House, which is the Democrats, but we need it to be introduced on the floor and make it a law. So this is a 3-year renewable visa. This is kind of like what Obama wanted. He wanted DAPA, which was to extend protection for parents of American citizens. But we want to go a little bit further. We want, what makes DACA recipients so exceptional? Everyone says, oh, these are, perfect, outstanding citizens. But they're outstanding citizens because they were raised by outstanding parents. And aren't they worthy to be here protected as well? So this would protect any parent that has a DACA recipient, an American citizen, or American citizen spouse. And then there's some people that don't have any citizen spouses or children, but they've been here and contributed in this country for over 10 years plus. So this is a renewable visa. Everybody will go through a background until there's a reform, until there's a citizenship, which we don't think there'll be anytime soon. This will protect the 11 undocumented families that live in mixed status families here in the United States of America. What this legislation would include to bring back the deported, which include my husband or anybody who has been deported, especially any veterans. So that's what we're pushing, and we're trying to move forward to that. And that's when, such as like your venues where you're bringing this awareness, this is how we can collaborate and bring more people into this mobilization and to make it happen. So I thank you very much, Mr. Choa, for allowing me to talk, on your here on your news, right? On this video, whatever you want, because I'm so bad at social media, but you know what I mean. So anyhow,
Yeah,
thank you so much
yeah,
for this media
yeah. I
stream.
mean,
There you go, for the media stream. Thank you.
for the media stream, because the misconception, mainstream media is not saying what you're saying right now.
Exactly.
And the reason I do these interviews because mainstream media is not aware about the bills or don't want to say those bills out there. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
Yeah.
And as advocates around the country are going to listen to the story and say, "I did not know about this." And as an advocate in Chicago, where you're at, they're going to listen to you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's what's going to happen. They're going to listen to you're in Chicago and I'm in California. Every state is different. Even though we're in the
Yeah.
United States, the laws are different in every state and every jurisdiction. You know,
Mhm.
and what you
Yeah,
said, I
and
mean, there's bill.
that's the beauty of it. And one of the things I was very surprised at was right now where people that have a PIN number that are in a mixed family were not eligible for the stimulus relief, right? Because they're undocumented, although they pay taxes. And over 10,000 people were infuriated over money, which is fine. I would be just as upset. But when at the end of the day, I'm like, there's legislation that if we had a law that would protect them, there would not be an anger, or we would not be excluded from this ITIN. You see what I'm saying? So we need to fix what's flawed so that moving forward, so that would, people that have ITIN numbers or people that are mixed status families are not excluded from what is a human right. This is a human right, which are the benefits that are given to everybody. And it shouldn't matter whether you have a green card or a social security number, because it doesn't matter when you pay taxes, right? They don't care about you not having a social security as long as you pay your taxes. But if it comes to getting a relief, that's when they're excluding you, and that's not right. So those are the things that we challenge, and those are the things that we fight for. Like with me right now, I'm currently working, giving the free testing of COVID-19, and we fought hard so that it could be given to everybody, regardless of their citizenship. We fought and we won, and now we were able to. Today alone, we did 400 tests just today. So, and we don't ask for status. You just have to have a proof that you live in the city of Chicago, because you can't come from the suburb asking for the test, unfortunately. So that's the only thing that we ask. And sometimes they don't have an ID, so we're taking their word for it. If you're telling me, I'm going to believe you're being honest. But yeah, we've been able to provide, because COVID-19, all it did was expose how bad people of color are being treated. Because COVID-19, this epidemic is not going to see, oh, well, let me see. Do you have insurance? Are you documented? Everybody gets sick from it. So everybody should have that human right to have insurance, to be able, if they're sick, to be able to see a doctor. So those are the things that we push for. And again, before I was always this privileged American, I was whitewashed, and I was like, no, that has nothing to do with me. I never did a rally because I'm like, I'm going to fix my husband's papers. It opened my eyes, and now it infuriates me. And this is what makes me so upset, because my daughter, she said she would say that she would recite the Pledge of Allegiance. She says, and mommy, it says justice for all. Where's my justice? There was a time where she wished she was not Mexican, but she wishes she was white, because she said that people of white were treated better than people of color. This is a 12-year-old. Now she's 14, but things like that you never really thought about. It's really daunting and sad the way the system treats people of color. It really
Yeah,
is.
and I was talking to my friends this week. Well, another nonprofit that's also out there. I help nonprofits behind the scenes, and this weekend we're discussing that it's a culture slash COVID-19, and there's no preference. What's the culture slash? We need to educate the culture of any culture about the COVID-19. You know, and that's the thing that nobody understands. It's a culture thing. They want to, how to say it? They just want to take wipe one race out there. Those races out there. That's the way I see it.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
at the education part, they want to take the races out there. that's what me and the guy were talking about, which is my client now. But we're discussing that
So,
it's from age to culture, and go ahead.
sorry, because calls are coming. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay, it's breaking up. Sorry.
Yeah, it shows on mute and mute.
Yeah, yeah. So as I'm I have a multi while I'm
Now you're
doing this
breaking up.
interview that was not working. Okay.
You're like,
Can you hear me?
yeah,
Seem
it's breaking up.
you on me. So bear with me, guys, please. On me.
Okay, I hear you. Now I'm frozen. Froze. My side internet.
Yeah, but I see you and I could hear you.
Okay. You driving or something?
My mom, no, my mom's driving. No, my mom's driving. I'm a passenger. I don't have a car right now, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you get what I'm saying when I went back into it's a culture thing. It's a your state, your sound.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I every year growing up, I would go to Mexico. My mom, she would work, so she would send me to Mexico in the summertime. So I was able to see, the differences living in Mexico and then coming here to the United States. I was exposed to the culture. I became very fluent in both Spanish and English. Unfortunately, because my kids, their dad was undocumented, they did not get exposed, and they were not able to see their you know family in Mexico. So that's the only thing. Sometimes I feel upset that I didn't provide that. I think it's a different culture for them versus me because I was exposed to both lifestyles, ¿verdad? Mexico íbamos cada verano, and then throughout the year here in Chicago, and then sometimes me getting older, I would go for Christmas. Bien hermoso, las tradicionales, tradiciones de Mexico versus the ones here. Nada que ver. And I was very happy going over there in the wintertime, but my kids didn't get to see that. And even now, sometimes, I'm like, well, like I said, I was whitewashed after a time of when I became an adult. I said, well, they don't need to learn Spanish because I'm never going to Mexico. And now, they want to learn. So they're like, well, and then they yell at me, or they don't yell at me, but they get upset. Mommy, why didn't you ever teach me? And I'm like, well, I didn't think you needed. So yeah, that's the bad thing about it. Yeah,
And
unfortunately.
I come from that area too because Eric tells me I was born in Silver Spoon. There's my dad in the back that passed away 2007, veteran, but his parents were from Mexico/United States, and then us being raised here in Pearl Valley, we're right by the border, we're border town, and we're right now considered a hotspot over the border. People from the border coming down here to COVID-19 for rescue help. They're coming here to U.S., but the U.S. citizens are diverted now to other counties, which is San Diego County next to Tijuana, and then Riverside County next to LA. So the ones that are based here are diverted, but the Mexicans or the Raza from the border are coming to our local hospitals
Yeah. Yeah, I
getting
didn't
treatment.
know that.
So
I
it's
didn't
gonna
know.
be like a big
Yeah,
old
I
thing.
didn't.
It's a headache already with people here, you know.
Yes, so that's funny you mentioned that because I only saw that someone else told me that. But here Chicago's not like
Yeah,
that.
being in
But in California, see, there's like that segregation. ¿Cómo le dicen what do they call them? When they're American citizens, I forgot what they call them. No, Chicano, pero hay otra cosa. Pocha, pocha. La gente pocha, they discriminate against the undocumented or those who have residency. You know, los Chicanos, and that's what they said that happens in California a lot. Versus in Chicago, we don't see that. But yeah, there is some type of entitlement
Pocha,
sometimes
yeah.
when people feel. Yeah, the culture that people tend to be like, oh well, I was born here, you know, versus someone that wasn't. And that's what we talk about, the inequality.
Now with Trump,
You know.
with Trump nowadays,
So yeah, I was surprised about that. I didn't know that there was a big division like that.
Yeah, that's going on down here in this county. Just
Wow,
happened recently.
wow, wow.
So
So yeah,
so
so
the
I will
pochos that
I
are
can
born
send.
here could go different.
Hmm. Okay, sorry, because I had to go in with the mask. Hold on, I forgot about my mask. So yeah, so that's the thing, and that's what we have to bring this awareness and let people know, what's the good and the bad uh having this 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 pandemic is what they pretty much showed us how messed up it is in terms of the division.
Oh, you're going to a store?
So can you hear me? Oh, now you're freezing.
Yeah, I could hear you. It's just bouncing
Okay,
the internet back and forth.
okay, okay. So yeah, what I was
Yeah, it's
saying,
freezing back and forth. You and me.
I could send you the information to share the resolution if
Yeah,
other
but I
people
mean,
want to
later
be on
on we
board
could
about
talk
that.
more when you have time.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we could talk more about that. And I know you're busy, and so just I'm glad we get to talk for a while. And
Thank
we'll
you.
we'll I'll do this interview later on when you have time again. and then, so yeah, we'll do another interview when you have more time in Chicago.
Okay. Definitely. Thank
So
you. God bless. And yes, I will
thanks,
definitely give you
Cecilia,
more
and
details. Okay. God bless everybody. Peace. Dios los bendiga.
okay.
Y seguimos en la lucha.
God bless.
Mhm.